Welcome to the #Speakeasy podcast, getting paid to hit the stage with your host, award-winning speaker and author, Altaviz Palzer.
Hey guys, Altaviz Palzer here, your voice manager. Listen, Speakeasy podcast listeners, I had to come and share this quick moment with you guys. Recently, we've had a lot of people who are being a lot more transparent about their journey and being open with sharing the things that they're going through, their heart. And so this episode is going to be one that's near and dear to my heart, and it's the cost of showing up. Because what people don't understand is, as the influencer, as the speaker, as the artist, as the actress, as the actor, no matter what industry you're in, when you get to a certain level, every level, there's going to be a cost of showing up. And not everyone is equipped to pay what it costs to show up. And so I'm going to give some really practical things in this episode, but I really had to share this because, one, there was a video that came up on my timeline of Nick Cannon, and he was honoring the loss of his son. And it was crazy because loss has happened in such a huge wave in the last few years because of what we've been going through, that, man, it's still... there's still a sting anytime you see a post. We've gotten very comfortable in being able to say RIP and, sending prayers, sending hugs. But what does that, what's the border of that? Like, how far out does that really go? Excuse me. And so I said that because the cost of showing up is being transparent about your journey. Because if you aren't transparent about your journey, it will eat at you. Let's be honest. You know how many people have showed up and tried to make you think that their relationship was great, that their home was, everything was together, everything was beautiful and perfect, and then they're dealing with suicidal thoughts. They're dealing with, all of these things. The cost of showing up is being transparent on a stage where everybody who's listening may not even be for you. Everybody who's listening may not even be somebody who supports you. It's a stage where there may even be people who take what you give in your moment of transparency, in your moment of vulnerability, and try to use it as ammunition. And it's so interesting because I guess for me, I've always had a heart to try to give people grace. It's hard. It's very hard, no matter who that person may be, what that person may have done, to kind of give some people grace. Sometimes, that's that whole grown-up thing that we got to do in life. But over time, we also learn that, listen, there's going to be times where we need it too. But that transparency is part of the cost of being in the position that you have fought really hard to be in. And it almost gets to a point where some people want to give up on being in that position because of the cost. Have you considered the cost? I remember years ago, I did a training for my clients where I literally took them through a process. Have you considered the cost of what it means to be successful? Have you considered the cost of what it means to actually go out and reach people? Have you considered the cost of what it's going to mean to your family to have to put in extra hours and be available for phone calls and Zoom meetings and virtual events and in-person events? Have you considered the cost? And most times when we say yes to our purpose, we didn't realize that there was a cost that came with it. And so I saw the post from Nick Cannon, and then I saw the post from another young lady. I want to make sure that I give you guys her IG handle, because, man, it blew my mind. Because, again, this is the life that so many of us live. Podcasters, speakers, entrepreneurs. And in doing so, that, yes, there is so many things that come with that. And so her name is, it's Destiny_Inspire on Instagram. Destiny_Inspire. She's the confidence queen. She's an entrepreneur. In her post, she talks about how, she was preparing for this event and ended up having to go to the hospital. She had these severe pains, and she ended up, she did this whole photo shoot. She did all of these things, and she was showing these things as she was doing them on social media. She had behind the scenes video that were being done, all the things that we do as speakers to prepare for an event. She had all of those things. She met with her clients. She showed all of that. And then she showed how that night she had a severe pain in her stomach. And they rushed her to the hospital and found out she had acute appendicitis. Consider the cost. Her being transparent just freed somebody else. But if she wouldn't have been transparent, there would have been this idea that, everything is all perfect. Everything is great. Her health is perfect. Everything is 100%. Considering the cost also means getting the help we need when we need it, standing firm in our yes and our no. Considering the cost also means that there will be times where people look at us weird for the decision we make, and they will question it. But that doesn't mean that we always have to question ourselves. A very valuable point that Nick Cannon made when he spoke to his audience after the loss of his son was he said, they had gone and watched the sunrise on the beach and had done some things, and then he was leaving to go back to work, to what we do. Because I know you guys see people on television, you hear podcasters, and you're like, well, this isn't work for them. This is fun. I mean, yeah, they get a check, but they enjoy what they do, but it's still work. And so he was going back to work, and there was something on the inside of him that said, no, go back. And so he went back and spent time with his family. And his son ended up passing away. I can consider the cost. There will be decisions that you will need to make on this journey that will test your values. They will test your morals. It's almost as if there will be things to shake up everything that you've been going through, to test the foundation that was created, that you've been building upon. So I had to come and do this episode because no matter what industry you're in, if you're a dentist, if you're a physicist, if you are an analyst, if you are an author, a speaker, if you make rugs for a living, there's always going to be a cost to what you do, right? A cost that we see when it comes to materials, when it comes to time. But there's going to be an emotional and mental cost of showing up. And take what Nick Cannon did and at Destiny_Inspire did and show up and let people know that no, it may not always look pretty. Yes, you will have to say no and turn things down. Yes, you will have to have moments where you show up even while in pain. But that is part of the cost. What we don't see on the other side is probably how many people reached out to Nick and said, thank you. Thank you for that positive message. How many people reached out to him and said, wow, you just made me be more comfortable in saying no. How about the ones that said, wow, thank you for showing up in spite of. I say that because I've been very dedicated in showing up. Virtually, social media, on the podcast, for years, guys. And no, it has not always been rainbows and unicorns and brownies and butter pecan ice cream, but I continue to show up. And as we head into the last few weeks of 2021, I want you to understand that yes, there may be a cost in showing up. And you must consider that cost. The most valuable piece of it is that you don't always have to be the one to carry the cost on your own. There are people who pray for you. There are people who speak life into you. There are people who high-five you and congratulate you. There will be some people, and they may not even know your name right now. Because what you don't understand is when you consider the cost and you give what you have and you give what you can, there will always be someone willing to invest. There will always be someone willing to give back. And so to Nick Cannon, our hearts and minds and prayers go out to you and your family in this time. To Destiny, at Destiny_Inspire. Our prayers and hugs go out to you. Thank you for your transparency in this moment. And for all of you that listen to the hashtag Speakeasy podcast, listen, I may not know you personally. It's okay. Understand that I see value in you. I see potential in you. And so when I considered the cost of what it meant to be a podcaster for 4 years, and listen, and we ain't stopping. We ain't stopping. There's even more coming. But when I considered the cost, the times where I set up appointments with people and they didn't show up, or there was tech issues and we had to reschedule, I considered the cost. And because I considered the cost, I show up consistently. And I show up transparent so that you may know that no matter what cost it is for you, that there is such good value in what you are investing in. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for showing up online at Altavis Unmuted on Instagram. I thank you for showing up in my inbox. I thank you for showing up on Clubhouse. I thank you for showing up on Amazon. All the hashtag Unmuted community that's over on Amazon that consistently shows up. Because there's a cost to you showing up. And I value that in you. So I just had to come and give you that moment of clarity. As you're going into these last few weeks, you've paid a lot to see this year through. Congratulate yourself. Keep showing up because it's making such a huge difference in the world. I appreciate you. And if no one else says it, again, I value what you bring. This is Altavice Pelzer, your voice manager, y'all. Until next time, don't forget to press it out.
Thanks for listening. If you were inspired, leave us a 5-star review, share with a friend, and subscribe.